come in with some predetermined boundaries. Come in wearing what makes you feel sexy and also a little comfortable. Like sexy where you're like, ooh, yes, I'm hot, but that your feet aren't killing you or that your dress isn't too tight and you're like being suffocated. Be something where you can be at ease and be yourself. And I would say walk in with practicing your nose. So even though I have so many confident women that talk to me and come to these sex parties, they often ask me, like, how do I say no? And these are women that are huge podcasters. Maybe they're even famous. Like they ask me.
Yes.
And I say, practice it at home.
Yep.
No, thank you. Not right now. I'm not interested. That one's harder for some women, but I like to say for people who have a hard time saying no, you can start like with ease. You don't have to be like, no, I'm not interested if that feels hard. What feels easier? No, not right now. No, but thank you for the compliment. Like what feels easier and practice that. Say it in the mirror. Say it to your friend.
Okay, let's talk about something that doesn't get talked about enough, the aftermath of good sex. Because let's be honest, the last thing you want to do is be fully in the moment, worried about who's cleaning up the mess afterwards. No more changing the sheets late at night because that gets old, right? And that's why I found Splash Blanket, the most luxurious waterproof blanket that lets you completely let go in the bedroom without having to worry about the cleanup after. It's 100% waterproof and is literally the most soft thing ever. I love how this feels on my skin, and it holds up to a liter of liquid. It was created by an Aussie woman who literally got sick of the midnight sheet change killing the vibe, so she designed something that supported pleasure. Whether it's partnered sex, solo sex, period sex, or you just want to feel more relaxed in your body, it removes the mental block. This is called a psychological sex toy because when your brain is able to feel safe to make a mess, your body can enjoy more pleasure. So yeah, if you've ever held back because you didn't want to deal with the aftermath of good sex, this is your permission slip. Get yourself a splash blanket and you'll thank me later. Use code Jordan15 to save 15% on your splash blanket. I have the leopard one at home and I absolutely love it. This is your favorite podcast host with a little reminder for you. If you are sexually active, STI testing should be a part of your self-care. We normalize orgasms and taking accountability over here, just like charging your vibrator and washing your sheets. STI testing should be a part of your routine. That's why I found ProDX Health. It is my favorite at-home STI testing company that is literally so easy to use and very convenient and in the privacy of my own home. Confidence in the bedroom starts with your sexual health. Use code JordanDonnell for 25% off your test kits at prodxhealth.com. See show notes for important safety information. Let's talk about a birth control option that I found and absolutely love, Fex. Yeah, you heard that right, a birth control that I like. If you have been around here a while, you know that I really support women finding what is right for them and listening to their own bodies. And there are options for literally every single woman when it comes to birth control. If you're someone like myself who's looking for a non-hormonal birth control option, Fex may be right for you, and I'd recommend taking a look at it. Fex is a on-demand birth control option. You just use it within an hour before intercourse. I like to say Fex before you sex, and it's immediately effective. You don't have to include it in your daily routine at all, which is really nice and makes it very convenient. It does not contain hormones. It is FDA approved and available by prescription. It is covered by most commercial insurances as well as state Medicaid programs. Also, how could I not forget the lubricating properties of Fex, which adds for a little bonus. What's unique about the way that Fex works is that it maintains the vaginal pH, which creates for an unfriendly environment for sperm, and it keeps the vagina very acidic. So if you're curious about a non-hormonal birth control option, you can go to fex.com, phexx.com to learn more. And you can also get a telehealth prescription right there. For more information and to learn more, go to fex.com. Fex is available in the United States by prescription only. Welcome to Vaginas, Vulvas, and Vibrators with Jordan Donnell. This is a safe place to learn about women's health and sexual wellness. I'm your host, Jordan Donnell, physician assistant, women's sexual health educator, and intimacy coach. This podcast is intended for educational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice. Please seek your medical professional's direction and guidance. The views and opinions on this podcast reflect my own and my guests and are no representation of any institution or organization that I work for. Welcome back to the Vaginas, Vulvas, and Vibrators podcast. Today we have Miss Tia with me, and I'm so excited to talk with her again. We have been on the podcast before, but this time we are talking sex parties. So Tia, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself before we dive in.
Ooh, okay. My name is Tia, aka Sexy Biz Babe is my brand and podcast. And I am all about the taboos. I love exploring. And my biggest thing is helping people break out of shame, own their confidence, and have better sex.
I love that. And as you're saying that, I'm like, kind of want to just ditch all of our questions and just dive into like more fun stuff. But
do all the things.
When we talk about like taboo and exploring and playing, what does that look like for you?
Ooh, okay. I feel like I was more of a kinky woman even before I had sex. And I had this desire to do things that weren't the norm, try taboos right away, explore. And I grew up in a very small town in Utah, and they were not really the norm. It wasn't what was acceptable. And through that journey of healing my shame around that, I've really become into my own and more confident. And I would say exploring taboos is anything that is like a little spicy to the norm, pushing your edges. It doesn't have to be someone else's edges. It's your edges.
Oh, I love that you describe that, because I think so often we think about taboo and it's like, oh, it's all the quote weird stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But the reality is that it's whatever your edge is. Mm-hmm. And for some people, that's going to be more vast than others. So I love that you defined that. Yeah. When we look at confidence, I think this is something that as women, we often struggle with. And you have done a TED Talk about breaking the shame and building confidence. What are like your number one tips for, a handful of tips for getting out of that and becoming more confident?
I would say the first thing is to work on taking off the masks. It's often we are hiding behind so many different masks. And if you're portraying yourself differently to different people and you're trying to be somebody else, your inner self is going to feel a disconnect. It's not going to feel authentic. It's going to be trying hard to be somebody else, and it's not going to be you. So then ultimately, there's a disconnect in your body and in your communication, in your connections. So I would say to start taking off the masks day by day, and like today, you could share something that is you. Share something that feels good in your body. So for me, my first thing to really show who I am is to get out of the fear of like dancing and being expressive in groups, because I used to be like, oh, I'm too much. I can't dance. Like people are going to judge me. But that was who I was. That was what was screaming inside of me, is to like shake my ass and dance when nobody else is. And so when I started doing that, that's when I made my best friends and relationships and connections. It's because it's authentic to me. And then just one other thing is don't compare yourself. Like, if you're comparing yourself to me, maybe that's not you to shake your ass in front of everybody. Do you, whatever that is. Maybe it is observing. Maybe it is being quiet. Maybe it's having those deep chats in the corner with somebody for an hour. So be you and just take little steps a day to show that.
That's amazing advice. I feel like a lot of us, especially those of us that show up online, have a really hard time figuring out like what is authentic. And sometimes like I struggle with that, right? Like I don't know how to always show up authentic. And what would you say to somebody who's like, what does that even mean to me?
Ooh. I would say it might be time for a self-discovery and ask yourself, what do I enjoy? What makes me happy? Make a list. And then try to do those more often.
Yes.
And explore. Have fun with it. And I have so many different like variations of my personality, but I'm still me. Like some days I can be quiet, some days I can be a boss babe and like bossy, and some days I'm super feminine. So that we all have different sides of ourselves. You don't have to fit in a box, and we're all multidimensional.
I feel like one thing that I've worked really hard on for myself is I am more happy when I always have something to look forward to.
Ooh.
And so when you say like having a list or thinking about like doing things that you like to do, that for me I found is really helpful for having happiness in my life too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Prioritize what you love. Like for me, it's pole dancing, twerking, workshops, festivals. And even when I was dead broke, like making sure I put some money into dance or working out was so important for my business and my income. I'm not lying. I made more money when I prioritized that.
100%. I noticed that with myself too. It's like your energy, as your energy shifts, that's where things go, right? Like energetically things flow, and sometimes you're like, how the hell is that happening?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just an energy change. So now, how does confidence show up in the bedroom?
Oh yeah, how you do one thing, you do all things. This is something that I love this quote. Somebody told it to me and it just blew my mind, and at first I disagreed with it, but then I saw the truth in it. Like, look for the truth in it, and it might blow your mind. And so how you do one thing, how you show up confidently, how you keep your boundaries, how you communicate, how you do business, that's going to be how you show up in the bedroom. Are you keeping your boundaries? Are you vocalizing them? Are you making sure you're happy in the bedroom? Are you making sure you're happy at work? Like the same thing. So yeah, I would say it definitely shows up. And you could ask yourself those questions about in the bedroom. Like, how are you hiding, or how are you not speaking up? How are you not prioritizing your pleasure?
So when we are looking at confidence in the bedroom, what would somebody do to boost that or feel more confident asking for what they want or taking charge in the bedroom?
Yeah, that's a lot of different things. So that's a lot of different answers. I'm like, okay, I'll start with, I would say start small. That's a good tip, is start small. Start practicing asking for what you want or something small. So you could be like, hey, I would really love to watch this sexy movie before foreplay. Or you could be like, I'd really like to try some sensual play. Or I really love when we have long, elongated kissing. It makes me feel sexy and turned on. Like, speaking your desires, start small. And then how to speak up. I mean, that one kind of goes with that.
You talk a lot publicly about like play parties and sex parties. How did you discover that was something that you were interested in?
Ooh, okay. Juicy. LA. Actually, it came a little bit before LA. I met a girlfriend about 8 years ago, and we met at a like after party, after like festival, and we really connected. We became like best friends right away. And she was probably just becoming a sex coach, and she was helping skirt club. But we met in Utah, and so I went to my first mini skirt club event in Utah probably like 8 years ago. And it was super small. It was just like you get to know some girls. It was at like a club bar, and like there was like some truth or dare games and like spin the bottle. It was very mild. And then I randomly went with her. She was moving to LA, and I drove with her, and I just met her. And then we went to like Play Party, and we went to some of the big ones like Sanctum, and I was shocked. I was just like, oh, this is so sexy and like erotic, and it was fun and juicy. I remember being shocked that they were actually having sex. I thought it was fake, like the performance. I just remember that very vividly, and then I just enjoyed it, and I kept exploring and testing the waters. And it wasn't until years later that I like found more of a community one that fit with me.
How did you find your community?
I would say the ones that I went to at the beginning, like Sanctum and Kinky Rabbit, are just like sexy, elite, VIP. But I never had sex with men because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel connected. I didn't feel community. And so once I went to ones where I felt that they nurtured the foreplay, the connection, the community, they had performance, that's when I felt safe. And that's when I was able to play with men and also build friendships. But the business is all about that. Like that's their model, is to build connections.
I love that you brought up friendships, because that's one of the things that I've gotten out of the community as well, is so many friends. Like people are like, oh, you go to the sex club by yourself? Yeah, I go to hang out with my friends. I like literally this is friends hanging out, and there might be people around us having sex. We might venture away and have sex, and like whatever, it is what it is. So yeah, friendship, I feel like sometimes it can be hard to find other people who are also sex positive. And so when you're in a space like that, you're surrounded by people who are like, get what you want, girl, go have a good time. And that is really empowering.
Yeah, it's the most open-minded, shameless place to be. Like, I love to go, even if I'm not wanting to play, just to meet new people, be in this space of sexuality, openness, freeness. You can talk without shame. You can share your desires, and you just meet a different caliber of people. Also, we have to do the fucking work to go to these play parties. We have to be able to communicate. We have to deal with our emotions, judgment, all these things, and have deep intellectual talks, especially if we're in relationships. So you just meet a different level of emotionally intelligent people.
Earlier, you brought up Skirt Club. I have not talked about Skirt Club on here yet. I would love for you to tell us, what is Skirt Club? I've done some content for them. I've worked with them. I probably
You've never been?
I've never been.
What?
I've never been. I know.
Why?
Every time I haven't been in the location at the time that it's happening.
They also have mini skirt clubs, mini skirt events. So like just like get to know you, like maybe a burlesque, a meetup. I've held lunches. So are you on the platform?
No.
Why?
I didn't even know there was one.
Okay. I am not their like affiliate in any way. I used to do a little bit of ambassador work when I lived in OC because they didn't have much there. But yeah, it's for bisexual and bi-curious women who want to explore. They could be straight. You can identify as straight, but you're curious. You want to be around curious, open-minded women. Maybe you just want to explore your sexuality without the male gaze. So, yeah, that just gave me chills because many women, we're going to feel safer in a space without men, and you have no expectation to play or do anything sexual, but it is a good place to meet other women, and it's more femme-looking women. It's not really about, like, lesbian. It's more of this, like, skirt club, like, dainty. That's just kind of, like, the vibe. Many women are successful, driven, some of them are married, just looking to explore their sexuality in a safe space. And you can do, like, they have meetups or they have
play parties too.
Play parties, full play parties. But you can always start small and go to, like, they have events that are like get-togethers to get to know some people in your community. It's a great space. I've made friends that way. Yeah, I've made some really good friendships in all these different play parties. Like, all my best friends are from play parties, pretty much.
Same. Like, it's funny because most of my friends, we all go do this stuff together.
Yeah.
And like, I have some guy friends, and it's like we change in the same room together. And it's like, I've seen you naked at the club before. I have seen you get fucked before.
Yeah.
And this is nothing. So, yeah, it's funny. The Skirt Club, I've done like some STI content for them, like STI testing and education.
Interesting.
I'm not sure where it is on their platform, but somewhere along the line, I've done a little education with them. And I feel like that space for all women to be together, like there's something so healing about being surrounded by women. And if you're curious and wanting to explore, being able to do that in a safe place is literally the number one thing.
Yeah, and just a lot of bisexuality can turn into for the male gaze. Like, some women kiss for men and do it for attention, not everybody, but it's that pressure. And when you take that out of it and you take male gaze out of it, whoa, I have seen some shameless, free women in this safe space to just let go and build friendships and connections. I've made many, and it's just so fun.
I'm going to have to check it out and see if there's any in Austin, because
There is.
there is?
Yes.
Where have I been?
It's a big city.
Where have I been?
They're all over the world. LA, Ibiza. I mean, they had a little meetup in OC, so I would be flabbergasted if it wasn't in Austin. Like, Austin's big.
Austin, I would expect
Like, I
to
would
be in.
100%. Yeah, like even the mini skirts, maybe even a big one. Yeah, I could let you know.
I will do my research.
Put you in contact.
Yes. So when we think about sex parties, what is actually happening there? I think there's a huge misconception about what's happening, and we touched on this a little bit earlier. Not everybody is having sex at the sex parties.
Yeah.
So what is actually happening?
Okay, so the sex parties I go to are going to be a little bit different caliber. Plus, I'm in LA, which, I mean, I feel like I started with the best. And so the parties that I go to are vetted, and it's more of an experience. So it takes you through more of a party element with connection, community, performances. This gets you aroused, and then it builds you up so you can have sex and you can have these connected experiences. So what it is not is walking to a room with everybody fucking. It's just not. What it is talking about consent, telling people to respect their nose, telling people that there should be no expectation. And what it is like for me is like going in, starting with some like drinks or games. Then it moves into a performance that's very sexy, erotic, maybe pushing some edges. And then there's usually like a consent talk either before the play happens. And then it's like, okay, now it could be playtime. And then you can either talk, hang out. There's usually areas that you can just mingle, or you can, some places have different spaces for playing. And then you can go play, you can go watch different experiences, you can go hang out. But it's also not like getting up into other people's business and watching. It's more like watching from afar unless you ask for consent. So Sex Life on Netflix had a terrible depiction of play parties. Terrible, 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 terrible. It had this point where the main characters started kissing and then everybody stopped and stared at them. How fucking awkward. And like kind of dropped what they were doing, and it kind of felt judgy too. Ew.
Yeah.
No, that is not how it is. Everybody's so busy that most of us are not even knowing what other people are doing. Like there's like, you catch some little bits, but we're all just having fun, doing our own thing and catching some like sexiness.
Yeah. We're just, I feel like half the time you're just watching and you're just like in your own thing. Like you're not watching anybody, but you're just like observing and taking in the environment primarily. Yeah. And I feel like that environment is just so fun and playful.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't play, I would say the first 2 or 3 years at the heterosexual play parties.
I love that you talked about that, because whenever I take somebody new or whenever I go to a new place for the first time, one of my rules is we're going to explore. We're going to feel it out, see what's happening, catch the vibe. We may or may not play, but I encourage people, like, don't have any intentions ever, but don't have any intentions of like there is going to be sex happening. Like, it's just go and feel it out first rather than trying to go and play.
Yeah, that is my biggest tip. Go in with no expectations, 100%, and make connections, have experiences, and it will just be a better time.
And not every place is the same. I go to more sex clubs. You go to more play parties.
Yeah.
Very different.
Very different.
They are not the same.
Yeah, I want to hear that. Like, but how do you pick those? Like, I don't really desire to go to those, but maybe I should explore. I'm so spoiled.
It's an interesting experience, to say the least. Those sometimes tend to be more like you walk in and everybody's fucking.
Yeah.
And also, like, you just go for the social aspect too. So it depends. The one that I went to in Austin, I went to Colette's last year.
Okay.
And it was my first time going to that one. I was like, let me check it out. Very different than the one in San Diego. It was more like everybody's dressed really well, more like a club vibe. There wasn't really anybody fucking, which is fine. Although, like, I do enjoy watching and just like being around that energy. But there was not a lot of spaces to actually have sex. And it was really just more like people who are interested in being sex positive all in a space. That's what it felt like. So I actually left because I was like, not the vibe I'm looking for tonight. Yeah. If I had brought a play partner with me, it might have been different.
So there was nobody playing?
There was like one couple playing.
Oh, well, that's not.
And it was packed.
Yeah. Wow.
And like nobody was playing. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, things should be like heating up at any point now. And they never really did. So I was like, I'll give it another shot.
Maybe I should give you some places to check out for me, and then I can go with you when I visit.
Yes. Absolutely. Send me a list.
I've met some couples and connections.
In Austin? Okay. Absolutely. Send me some.
I find it really easy.
So that's a really good point to talk about.
Yeah.
How do you find them? Where are you looking?
Okay. So I am a podcaster, and I've done this several times. I find it really easy to find community. Like, I just got back from Austin. I found a couple. I found some events. I found like multiple communities I could get involved with. And then you just go to them. You go to them and you nurture those relationships that you're interested in. And you seek them out. So some ways that I seek out play parties in different spaces is, first of all, I get on field and I am clear with my intentions. Like, you could be like, hey, I'm looking to meet open-minded people, get in the sexual spaces, maybe say I go to play parties, and then be open to maybe matching with people that maybe you don't want to physically hook up with, or it's more of a connection. It's more of a, hey, like, let's meet some of these spaces. Let's talk about events. Let's go to maybe smaller events that aren't play parties so you can get to know them, or go on a networking meetup or date, whatever it is, and then ask them about their events. Like, find the people putting them on. They're going to be on field, most likely. So that's how I've met people. And then find the leaders in the community. You can find that on Instagram. You could probably look up sex coaches, podcasts, and then ask them, like, what are some of the events? What are some of the shibari workshops or BDSM workshops? Like, get involved. FetLife probably has some. I don't use it personally, but those are some ways. Look up plush parties. Oh, you don't know about plush parties?
I don't.
I feel like this is from the 90s, but plush parties, are very well known, and they're all over the world, and you can meet people, and there's definitely things everywhere. It's going to be not vetted. It's going to be open, but you could probably meet like a few people there and look up their events and when they're coming. But I would just like look up to the guides, the sex coaches, the podcasters, things like that, and dive in. Yeah. Look up, I don't know, research. Yeah. And then do your due diligence when you're checking them out on like Instagram, their website, things like that.
Yeah. I think that's a great place to start. I don't use FetLife, but I have FetLife.
Yeah.
And I think that one can be kind of overwhelming because your DMs are just going to blow up.
Yeah. So I do pings.
If you're a woman.
I do pings, and I only look at the pings and the messages. And then I also put my Instagram because I'm a podcaster and things, so I'm open with that. But then they DM me, and like I've been able to, when I went to Amsterdam, get a shibari session and a BDSM session because I was on field and I was intentional, and they DM'd me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's really easy for me to find people.
I'll have to use field more to my advantage.
I mean, it takes like, you gotta like, I don't even swipe. I just like go through them and like, you know, and then honestly, most of them that I connect with, they DM'd me.
Yeah. On field, I've met up with a couple people from there, but I've found that I have a lot of opinions about field. Probably not for the podcast, but I definitely have some opinions. When we talk about dating sometime, would love to dive into that.
I love talking about dating lately.
I know, it's such a fun topic. I'm not dating, but I'm kind of dating.
Fully dating, so yeah.
You brought up vetted multiple times. What does it mean to have a vetted party versus an unvetted party?
Okay, vetted party is just you need some type of application before you're approved to go to a party. Non-vetted is anybody can go.
Well, and I found like at Colette's, you have to be vetted. You just fill something out, but it's not like a true vetting process.
Gotcha.
So what's the difference?
Okay, so at least there's that, because some you don't really have to do that. The parties that I go to are truly vetted. There is a level. So some people you apply and they do go look through your answers, and like if you don't answer the question about consent, that's like a tip right there. If you just put like it's yes or no, like you might most likely get denied. Like they're looking for people who are conscious, who can communicate and answer those questions and put effort. And there's also vetting processes where you have to know somebody, or some of them where you have to have an interview and have like a 30-minute consent training. So there's various ways of vetting. The ones I go to definitely at least have like some questions and pictures and things like that.
I think that's vetted, I think is helpful. It depends on what you're looking for, right? But I think vetted is good because you have a little bit of safety that's kind of embedded into the event. But on the note of safety, how do you also ensure that you are safe when going to parties like this?
So some things to look out for when you're exploring events. Red flags, green flags. Green flags, they talk about consent somewhere on the website, their Instagram. Some other green flags are, that it's vetted. There's some type of process. Also, you want to look for reputation. Ask people who have been to their events or people who are big in the community, like myself. I had somebody reach out to me recently about a party in LA, and they were like, "Ooh, what do you think?" And honestly, reputation, especially in these sexual spaces, spreads like wildfire. And if you have a bad reputation, there's usually a reason. And in my community, this particular event is spread through hundreds, if not thousands of people that already are like, no. So when she even asked, like, have you been? I'm like, no. Because we had tons of screenshots shared in our group about this event from women. Saying there was not consent, men push the boundaries, there's no women in leadership. You want some women in leadership. That would be a healthier thing. Also, you want to look at their images. Is it more sexually focused and demeaning towards women? Is it more inclusive? Is it just a bunch of white people? Sorry, I'm going to say that. Is like, it's good that people put effort to make it more diverse as well. So like, is there pictures of different cultures in their marketing? And honestly, any businesses listening, they should put work in that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge important thing to me. As we all know, I'm attracted to Black men. And so I'm not going to a place where it's all primarily white men.
Yeah.
That's just,
unfortunately, that's an issue in a lot of those sex parties and play spaces.
So when it comes to like showing up confidently at a play party, what should one do? How do you walk in there and like be confident as fuck?
Ooh, okay. I would say come in with some predetermined boundaries. Come in wearing what makes you feel sexy and also a little comfortable. Like sexy, where you're like, ooh, yes, I'm hot, but that your feet aren't killing you or that your dress isn't too tight and you're like being suffocated. Be something where you can be at ease and be yourself. And I would say walk in with practicing your nose. So even though I have so many confident women that talk to me and come to these sex parties, they often ask me, like, how do I say no? And these are women that are huge podcasters. Maybe they're even famous. Like they ask me.
Yes.
And I say, practice it at home.
Yep.
No, thank you. Not right now. I'm not interested. That one's harder for some women, but I like to say for people who have a hard time saying no, you can start like with ease. You don't have to be like, no, I'm not interested if that feels hard. What feels easier? No, not right now. No, but thank you for the compliment. Like what feels easier and practice that. Say it in the mirror. Say it to your friend.
I feel like that is definitely hard going into those spaces. Like, how do you say no? Because the opportunity is kind of everywhere. And being able to say no is extremely important because not all of those opportunities are ones that you want to take advantage of. Yes. Sometimes maybe you do want to engage in all of them, but more than likely, like there is at least something that you're like, that's just not for me.
Yes.
And knowing your no is equally as important as knowing your yes.
One thing I wanted to share is I talk about consent. I'm very confident. I bet you guys would be surprised to hear I've had times that I had a hard time saying no. Even recently, in the last month. And it's because I was second guessing my reality. And I was second guessing someone was doing something for me. And I was feeling that like a little bit of pressure, definite discomfort. And yeah, I was second guessing reality because it didn't make logical sense to me. And so practicing your nose and trusting your body. Your body is screaming at you. My body was screaming at me. And I was like doing backflips in my brain like, what's going on? And finally I was like, I'm not comfortable. So I finally spoke up, but it took way too long.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I love that you point that out because I'm practicing this in medicine too. Like anytime I have a patient where I'm like, something doesn't feel right and I don't have the answers, but like I need you to go to the ER. And I'm not second guessing it. And I'm like, they can figure it out, but I have a bad feeling and not overriding that feeling.
Yeah. Don't override that feeling. There's something off.
Trust it.
Can I share a little bit? Okay. So recently at a community that I usually feel very safe in, and I'm been a ton of times. I have lots of friends. I said yes to a massage, and I don't know how explicit to get, but I said yes to a massage with somebody that offered a massage. There was no chemistry. There was no connection. He said that I'm a masseuse. I do this for a living. I performed that night. He was offering me a massage. There was no sexual innuendo or flirtation. And I just met him also that night. So I was getting a massage and he was massaging me and my brain was going into like, I'm uncomfortable. And my brain was like, is he naked? Granted, he was wearing clothes, fully dressed when I was talking to him. I'm wearing my like performance sexy outfit. So my brain kept being like, there's no way he's naked. And so finally I was like, no, this is more uncomfortable and this feels more sexual than when my partner recently was giving me a sexy massage with him being naked. Like he was invading my space less. So then I was finally like, hey, like, what's going on? Like you're getting too up in there. And then it still persisted and finally like, hey, I'm good. I got up. I even thanked him because I felt odd and left. And then I did speak up. So I wanted to share that. Like, speak up, tell somebody in the community. I didn't feel like it was a big deal. But then I still told somebody it happened to. They asked me how I was. And I was like, I'm not really okay right now. And those it might come off very small. But guess what? He had multiple consent infractions that night. And so me speaking up validated other people too, and also kept the safe space. So now he got kicked out and he's not welcome back. So I just want to kind of share that as like, you speaking up could also protect somebody else. And yeah, just keep this safe environment.
Thank you for sharing your story. And it's so important to just trust yourself.
Yeah.
Trust yourself. Don't override it. I think for me, not like you take one message out of today's podcast, but I feel like that is such an important lesson as women. We are always overriding our intuition.
Yeah.
And we just need to lean into it and just be like, it is what it is for whatever reason it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that.
Yeah.
In a discussion.
And it is like, I'm such a vocal person. So like, it was hard for me to like even think back on like, why did I have such a hard time speaking up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, even super confident, like, well, don't be hard on yourself is the message.
I love it. Well, before we wrap up today's episode, I want to ask you two questions.
Okay.
What is something that you are actively curious about exploring?
I mean, I love BDSM, so going more into the depths of exploring that, I already have, but like deepening my submissiveness and surrender. And then also one that's fun right now and is new that I haven't done is more like bisexual threesomes with men. Ooh! I haven't done that. So, yeah.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. How do you define pleasure?
Ooh. Okay. Pleasure doesn't have to be sexual. Pleasure is joy and good vibration in your body. So I experience pleasure by eating a delicious nectarine or mango. I experience pleasure from being in my body and dancing and doing pole. So pleasure for me is enjoyment, ecstasy, desire, fun, vibration.
I love it. Well, thank you for chatting with me today. Tell me, where can the listeners find you at?
Yes. Okay. I am very active on Instagram. If you have like a question or you want to work with me, you're looking to break out of your shame and have confidence or explore E&M or your desires, you can DM me, and you can also like check out my content. I'm either at Sexy Biz Babe podcast or at Sexy Biz Babe. And my podcast is on all streaming platforms on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, all the things. So Sexy Biz Babe.
And your TED Talk.
And my TED Talk. Yes, go check out my TED Talk. It's on YouTube. It's called Break Out of Shame, Own Your Confidence. And it's Tia Lynn. So you can just Google that and it should pop up.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting.
Yeah, thank you. This was a fun discussion.
Yes. Thank you for joining today and continuing to bring awareness to women's health. If you love this show, please subscribe so you never miss another episode, and leave a review for others to see. If you want to see me on the daily, you can check out my bio for links to all my pages. Be sure to share this episode with your girlfriends. Thanks again, and see you next episode.